Hey, it's Mayor Robert Garcia, and I just want to congratulate and thank the Conservation Corps for just an amazing 35 years of service here in the city of Long Beach. When I think about all the amazing projects and programs around tree planting, about habitat restoration, ensuring that the community is safe and clean, Conservation Corps has been really at the center of a lot of that work. And you have graduated, of course, so many individuals from our community and the region, provided hundreds of scholarships, have so many amazing people that are out there really about ambassadorship and conservatorship of the city. I also want to just note that what I'm really proud of for you on all this year especially is all the work you all did around COVID-19, setting up the testing sites, helping with the vaccination process, ensuring that there were food distribution happening. Just thank you to the Conservation Corps of Long Beach for your amazing work. We could not be more proud or happy for all of you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mayor Garcia. You, like us, are so proud of the young folks that come to our doors every day to give back to their community, serve the greater Long Beach area. Just, I'm always humbled by what the young folks of the Corps do day in, day out. My name's Dan Knapp. I'm the Executive Director of Conservation Corps Long Beach, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a journey. You know, we're going to look at the Corps' past, the Corps of today, and the Corps of the future. Without further ado, I want to introduce two board members, two very special board members, Ms. Nicole Wesson and Mr. Ryan Shelton, to be our guides on tonight's journey. So lock in, let's go.
Wow, we'll lock in and let's go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Conservation Corps of Long Beach State of the Corps for this year, 2021. I am Nicole Wesson, and I am so pleased to be here as not just a board member, but also I get the opportunity to serve as the event committee chair of this event. But I'm not doing this alone tonight, thank goodness. I am so pleased to introduce. Well, let me start this way. He is a former Corps member, CCLB Corps member. He is also on the board, the youngest and the first Corps member to serve on the board of CCLB. And here's the really big thing. He is also the 2020 Corps Member of the Year. It is my pleasure, my honor to introduce you to Ryan Shelton. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Nicole, thank you so much for that great introduction. I'm so excited to share the stage with you tonight. And as you said, my name is Ryan Shelton. I just want to give you guys a little bit of story about me, just a little bit of background. So I came to Conservation Corps Long Beach in 2017. When I came to Conservation Corps, I was in a state of frustration and almost desperation. I had been trying to work at all these temp agencies, and I would work at the temp agencies, but they would only have a little bit of work for felons. And once that work was gone, I was on to the next agency. And I was just getting frustrated. And out of that frustration, I was thinking one day that, hey, while I was incarcerated, I had one of my instructors who was telling me about how to get good work and how to get back into the work field when I was released. She said, why don't you check out Conservation Corps? So it popped in my head. And I said, hey, why don't I check it out? So I went down to Conservation Corps. And when I went there, it was just so different. I was around people who looked like me, people who were motivated and positive on the right path, doing something positive. I had supportive staff around me. And just during that time, I really got all the skills that I needed and all the confidence that I needed, which was number one. So while I was there, I was really thinking, hey, you know, I'm on probation, but I'm doing the right thing. I have a job now. I'm getting all these great skills. And I started gaining confidence. I started talking to my supervisor and I would say, hey, you know, do you think you could write a letter for me for court? And they would say, yeah, I can write a letter for you. And I started getting more confidence. I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to see if I can go before the judge and get my record expunged. So in the midst of that, me wanting to get my record expunged, Conservation Corps had a solar training, the very first ever solar training. And I signed up. My hand was up right away. And I said, hey, this is something I want to do. I can get a great skill. So I was learning this great skill. I was learning how to do solar installation. And then in the midst of that, March 27th, 2018, I went before the judge and I was able to have my record completely expunged. I was off probation. I had a clean record and I could move forward. And I was also getting all the solar installation skills that I needed. So while I was getting all those solar installation skills, I was actually able to teach the next wave of young folks from Conservation Corps on the roof with them side by side, showing them how to do the solar installations. And it really just built my confidence up to do even more and more and more. In the midst of that, I kept pushing myself. I enrolled at Trade Tech at LA Trade Tech College to pursue my AS in electrical construction and maintenance. That's where I got my confidence. I said, hey, I can do this. I had some scholarships from Conservation Corps as well. So I said, hey, I don't even have to worry about the money that much. I got the support. And I was just everywhere I wanted to be. And then right before the pandemic hit in February, in 2020, I went and I was able to accept the National Award for Course Member of the Year. And that was just so great. And it was a national award. I was really happy about that moment. But tonight is really about all the great experiences that Corps members have had through the support of Conservation Corps Long Beach. My story is just a drop in the bucket, and you guys will hear so many more great stories tonight from these young folks.
Wait,
mine's just the tip of the iceberg.
But hold on, what are you doing now?
Yeah, so now, as I told you, I was side by side on the roof teaching the new wave of young folk, and I really fell in love with teaching people who were coming from a situation like me how to do the right thing, how to stay on this right path, and how to do something positive, because that was the energy that propelled me to keep doing what I was doing. So in the midst of that, being on board member with Conservation Corps Long Beach, rubbed shoulders with the right people, and I was able to get hired on at Pacific Gateway in the Economic Development Department of the city of Long Beach. So what I do now is I help people who are coming out of incarceration, prison and jails, and I help them find jobs and I help them get into training. And you better believe any young folks that I have that need to get their education and need some work, I refer them over to Conservation Corps Long Beach. So I'm really doing what I love, helping people who are in a similar situation as me, and it's really all from that start from the Conservation Corps.
That's fantastic. You know what? I love, me, we've talked about it a number of times. I just love your story. And that's the thing about what we're doing tonight. We're sharing stories. We're really sharing a lot about what the Conservation Corps is and hearing from you and so many others. So do you think we should just go ahead and get started? Maybe?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So that's going to lead us into our next segment, which is going to be from Jane and Teresa. They really helped build some of those very monumental foundation building blocks when Conservation Corps first started. So it's going to be great to hear from them, hear a little bit of history and how they really helped build those building blocks for the really beginnings of all this. So let's get into it.
I love it. Let's go.
Netherton, the founding chair of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach. And with me today is Teresa Marino, the founding executive director of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach. A short background on how did we get started. In 1987, a developer by the name of Mike Chopin, a community leader, he actually built the World Trade Center, was asked to go to San Francisco to visit a friend of his who was a judge, Judge Klein, because he had a program in San Francisco that was developed as a conservation corps. I believe it was either the second or the third corps in California. He wanted Mike to see how it worked and what they accomplished. We were very interested in starting this corps, and we all wrote personal checks for $100 so we could have funds to file for our incorporation. That was 1987. We were fortunate enough to be able to hire Teresa Marino as our first executive director.
I started writing grants. We had no buildings. We were promised an office at the Cal Rec Center. Do you remember?
Yes. You mean the janitor's closet?
The janitor's closet. I went over to see it, and here was this janitor's closet. It was maybe 5 feet by 6 feet. So I contacted Parks and Rec, which was very supportive of us, the Parks and Rec department under Ralph Kreider and Phil Hester. Both said, we will find another building. So they found us a building in Recreation Park. It was the band shell building. It was built in 1912. It had historic nature to it. And the California Conservation Corps and the city's Public Works Department came over, and Parks and Rec paid for the rehab of that building. And it was a little jewel of a building.
Our job was to maintain the building and the benches, and that's what we agreed to do for letting us use the space.
Yes. We had the band shell building, and about 6 months later, Phil Hester came to us and said we could have the boathouse, the 1932 boathouse from the 1932 Olympics. Our Corps members laid a floor, and we made offices in there and a place for the Corps members to meet. How has the Corps changed in 35 years from then until now? How do you feel?
Do we have 2 hours?
Only 2 hours?
Yeah. When I think about the Corps then, very struggling group of board members and employees that all we wanted to do was to grow the Corps to be able to be self-sustaining. And I think that's very important.
They see the Corps as an opportunity to fit their schedules, have some camaraderie, pick up job skills and vocational skills, and they see it as an opportunity for scholarships. That's one of the big things that we have are the scholarship opportunities here. And not only is there scholarship opportunity, but we've also now have a dedicated Corps member support and development unit where Corps members are helped.
We have been, I feel, very successful in raising enough money on a once a year fundraiser that we do to help our Corps members get where they'd like to be, not just where they need to be, where they'd like to be, and get themselves moving on with their life.
Wow. So Ryan, what did you take from that conversation? I mean, these are two women, Jane Netherton, Teresa Marino started the Corps in Long Beach. What did you take from that?
What I really took from it was, how Teresa said, at first it was a janitor's closet, and they had to fight, and then they got that new building, and then they got another building. And that just kind of shows, how Conservation Corps started off with that fight and how they just keep instilling that fight into us young folks to just fight for our future. And they just give us the tools to, just fight for the potential that we know we have inside of us. So I just think it's super cool how those initial building blocks, I really feel, are kind of still a part of the culture now. And it's just so cool how everything has evolved.
I just love the history. I mean, you know me, I love a little bit of history. I'm a history buff, and just the idea of, and especially with us being in an Olympic year with, wow, the building is a former location for the 1932 Olympics. That's huge to me.
Right.
That's just a huge, and I tell you the other thing too that I love so much about that is that camaraderie between them. That's just, that's a thread just between everything about CCLB, amongst Corps members, amongst board members, our staff, our relationship with the different groups that we work with, public officials and everyone. I just love that camaraderie that we constantly see. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's the same camaraderie that was pushing me when I came in 2017.
I know. I love it, but I love where we get to tell these stories. And one of the biggest aspects of Conservation Corps, especially within the last year, has been the opportunity to share our story in a bigger way on a bigger platform, especially in the news. So I'd love to be able to share that with all of you.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Open Line. My name's Tammy Heidi, and my guest is Dan Knapp, CEO of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, CCLB. So thanks for joining us.
The primary mission of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach is to develop at-risk youth through work, service, conservation, and education.
My name is Frankie Silva. I'm from the Conservation Corps, and I'm a restoration specialist.
This 22-year-old from Long Beach is supervising a team replacing invasive plants with native plants at Friendship Park in San Pedro.
Yes, this is a sunflower right here.
But Frankie was in a much different place just 1 year ago when his dad suffered a heart attack and could no longer afford rent.
At the ports, the Long Beach Conservation Corps is building huge tents. They will serve as temporary triage and health clinics.
Helping at-risk young people connect with their communities, it's quite an ambitious goal, but the Conservation Corps of Long Beach is doing just that, not only this morning, but every day. Sandra Endo is here to talk to us more about this. And what I think I like the most about this program, Sandra, is that it's planting this idea that we should all really have of being stewards of our community, not just people there sucking up the oxygen, walking on the street, caring about the place we live.
Jobs are available. They're looking for more people to enter their force. And we're not talking about just Long Beach, Michaela. We're talking about Southgate, Linwood, Cerritos. So this really encompasses the gateway communities here in this area.
The Conservation Corps Long Beach crew was out in Southgate today. The nonprofit has reported a 50% increase in trash and bulky items dumped illegally. The organization is often called upon to clean up after parades, remove debris from parks after storms, and perform other tasks in Long Beach.
Members of the Conservation Corps of Long Beach, age 18 to 25, plant trees and beautify their community. 70 Corps members get job training and a salary. During the COVID crisis, they have also set up emergency medical testing centers and helped with food distribution.
We don't run away from emergencies, we run towards them to help people.
Wow.
Wow. I think we can all agree it's been a crazy year.
Crazy year.
And this year filled with all this adversity and all this challenge, it's really amazing just to see all these Corps members and Conservation Corps of Long Beach stepping up to the plate, and really with these Corps members just showing bravery. I mean, a lot of people, they're scared, they're a little bit weary, but there are so many people, willing to step up to the plate and really do everything they can to really make a change and help their community in those times. So it's really amazing to see.
When one of the anchors in the news said that Corps members were stewards of the community, and that, that just, it stood out. It stands out every time I hear it. It's just, stewards of the community. And because we don't always think about our community that way, we're just kind of going and doing things so quick and fast that we don't slow down and think like, wait a minute, where do I live and what do I need? So yeah, it's just fantastic to see how our Corps members really, they really stood up, and last year, like no one can say.
Exactly. And that brings us into our next segment, where you guys are really going to hear about the amazing stories behind all the work, these amazing stories of these Corps members and all their unique experiences, and just a little taste about what they went through and how their experiences were. So let's go ahead and roll into it and check it out.
Oh my God. I'm like, that's great. That's great. Awesome. That's it, man.
I actually really like to do restoration. I like to build gates for off-roads, plant trees, beautification. Basically, I like to do a lot of things that the Corps has to offer. So
I think one of my favorite projects is the food distribution, like giving back to the community with the County of LA. I just really enjoy it, and especially because you get to see different types of people and how you could help them and impact their life. So
yeah, one of my favorite projects was Parque dos Rios in Southgate off the 710. We probably put in about 1,000+ plants when I was there for about 2.5 weeks. So it's basically going to promote wildlife and growth in the area for like native plants and animals to start coming back and create like a good ecosystem for them. So I really enjoy doing that project because you can see kind of the result of what you did in real time. So I really enjoyed that.
wow, it impacted me so much because I grew up here basically, and I wasn't going to be offered all these opportunities that I got offered. Like I wanted to do athletic training, and they found me an internship with the County of LA to work in one of their hospitals. So that was one of the good opportunities that I was offered here.
The Corps has changed me in by basically like not giving up, because like when I was younger, I've dropped out, but the Corps it helped me out to keep going. I wasn't thinking of college, but now I am. Like everything I see, I pick up, like every trash. Like it helps you like organize yourself too.
Huge impact because I didn't have my high school diploma and I was able to obtain it in about 2 months of work. I just dedicated a lot of time into finishing and getting my diploma right away because I want to go to college, which I'm enrolled right now for summer classes. And also just asking for resources available for housing opportunities or other things outside of the Corps. I've asked for help and it's been given to me, so I really am appreciative of that here.
Well, the Corps changed me a lot because when I first came in, I didn't have the work dedication that I have now. So they pretty much taught me to love my job.
So as a supervisor, what I'm trying to like show the Corps members is when you're leaving here, you could go outdoors again, or get another job outdoors. You don't have to go indoors. And then basically do what you love.
Sometimes there's people that are not going to teach them the little things that's going to make them successful in life. So yeah, I want to teach them how to be responsible, dependable, and help them grow and go where they need to go.
My plans for the future are to finish my AA in Long Beach City College and then transfer to Cal State Long Beach.
Plans for the future is to get my associate's degree in physical therapy. So once I get that, I want to grow with that and have my own business one day, and yeah.
My plan for after this is to have a career in conservation.
I'm enrolled at UC Berkeley. I did my first year at home virtually. So I definitely applied to the scholarship from the Corps, and I'm really excited.
Also, I'm going to be graduating this Friday from the Corps and eventually be going to college.
What's it like being in the Corps?
I love it. It's changed my life.
Wow. Dan's enthusiasm, but it's all our enthusiasm, right?
Right.
You know, we all, just if we're picking out those little nuggets that the Corps has taught some of them to love their job, taught our Corps members to love that and to do what you love. And that's something that for anyone who is working, that's really key, just to be able to enjoy what you do.
Right. I think even on top of enjoy what you do, I heard so many of them say, I'm in college now, or I'm already in college, and just how it's really pushed them and it gave them that confidence that, hey, I can do more, I want to do more, and really see them pushing for the stars. Mahalani in particular, I remember at my job at Pacific Gateway, she called and she said, I really want to get my high school diploma. And I said, hey, I know the perfect place, Conservation Corps Long Beach, sent her over. And to hear her now saying, she's going to graduate, just such a great thing. And just another example of how Conservation Corps is supporting us young folks and moving everyone in the right direction. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all the Corps members who are willing to take their time to open up and give just a little bit of their story for you guys to just take a little peek into their lives and how Conservation Corps has played a little bit of a role in it for sure. And then that kind of leads us up into our next segment with Mr. Nelson Martinez. I was sweating shoulder to shoulder with him back in 2017. So it's amazing to see how much he's grown and just see everything that he's doing now. So let's go ahead and roll into and hear from Nelson.
Yeah.
I'm Nelson Martinez. I'm the kennel staff supervisor in the Long Beach Animal Care Shelter. The way I got my start here was I worked for the Conservation Corps around 2017, 2018. And I started off working at the city of Southgate. Around 2018, we came back to the base of the Conservation Corps here in Long Beach. And I worked here for about a year. And eventually, an opportunity came up for working at the animal care shelter. About a month in, they told me, hey, you're available for the internship. I did the interview. I worked here for about a year. I worked hard. A position opened up. I applied. Everybody around here that works here, they saw my work. I got hired on to be the supervisor for kennel staff. It wouldn't be without the Conservation Corps that I got that opportunity.
Any advice you have for Corps members?
People are open to you. People will like you. You don't think, people are open to who you are as a person, and they're willing to take you in and work with you. Respect people the way you want to be respected, and the world will open so many opportunities towards you. That's my advice to all Corps members. I really want to thank you all. I also want to thank all the partners of the Conservation Corps, like the City of Long Beach and other cities that help the Conservation Corps to make opportunities happen for people like me so we could better our lives.
So yeah, along with Nelson, I want to thank our public officials, those agencies, and just everyone who continues to support the Corps and our Corps members. I know one thing, Ryan, that came from that is I'm gonna have to talk to Nelson about getting a dog. I've been thinking about getting a dog for the longest. And now that I know there's a former Corps member that works in animal services, I think I have an in. I have an in.
Got an inside man.
Inside man. Yeah. What about you? What do you think? I know you worked shoulder, you said shoulder to shoulder with them, right?
Yeah. Me and Nelson worked together on a couple projects, planting trees together. He's actually a really cool dude. He was always super hardworking. We used to have almost a little competition together. He would start planting his tree, I'm planting mine. I'm trying to see who could do it faster. So he's always been such a hard worker, and it's just really amazing to see him grow. I remember when he said he was starting the internship there. I'm like, hey man, that's great. And I remember him saying, hey, I really love it here. And just to see him be able to grow and really have a permanent role there is just really great to see, him doing all these great things and really just scratching the surface of his potential. But that's just what Conservation Corps Long Beach tends to do.
I love it. And it's so true. And I love that we now get to hear from someone else scratching the surface about the potential that the Corps is allowing them, but the potential was already there. So we get a chance to hear from Eric Velasquez and hear a little bit of his story, especially how it relates to our sponsors.
Hello, my name is Eric Velasquez, and I'm a supervisor here at the Conservation Corps of Long Beach.
Yeah, so I started working here when I was 20 years old. Now I'm 24. I started as a regular Corps member. I was going to school, but I didn't really have the support to be like a full-time student. I got promoted to a yellow hat as a driver. So from there, I was working more, and actually they were helping me with school too. So they gave me the opportunity to take more classes. And when I heard about the scholarship, I took advantage of it. I took advantage of the AmeriCorps too as well. And thanks to that scholarship, I was going full time because I had the support. With this pandemic going on, everything got moved on to online classes. And I had a laptop, but it wasn't really working that well. And I purchased this laptop right here that had helped me a lot with my schoolwork, especially everything that got moved on to online. With my scholarship money too, I bought my books. I want to thank whoever gave us the scholarship or the sponsorship and the Corps for giving me this opportunity to buy my laptop, my books, and everything. And also it's helping me to pursue my career, which is I'm studying criminal justice, and I want to work for the public safety here at Long Beach, if not in LA. I want to inspire everybody else who works here, the Corps members. I mean, if you really want to study, it's never too late. Also take advantage of everything they gave here at the Corps, all their training, even the scholarship. It really helped me. I just want something better for me and my family. And I want to thank all the scholarship, all the sponsorship that gave me this opportunity for me to just keep going with school and keep working at the same time. I want to thank everybody.
Wow. It's so crazy how these scholarships from Conservation Corps of Long Beach have really changed the lives of these young folks, me included.
Yeah.
I remember when I was thinking, hey, I want to go to school. The school is down the street, and I said, hey, I have the money, I got the support. There's no excuse. And to see how Eric's just getting all the support that he needs and how he's just moving forward and doing all these great things, it's really amazing to see. And these scholarships play such a key role. The crazy thing, if you notice, remember Eric said, now I have my laptop. It's so interesting because these scholarships helped so many of these young folks purchase these laptops at the time, which were for convenience and help them in class take the notes. But we didn't know that those laptops were going to be the actual class. class, you know? So
Absolutely.
that was the crazy part to me, that, you know, Conservation Corps of Long Beach has really been able to support these young folks in this time of need and really help them not fall behind with that gap with digital technology, really help them stay continued with their classes, feel confident that they can keep up with the changes and really stay flexible with all these changes that were really happening. So those scholarships are so key, and that just shows a perfect example as to why.
You know what? And that's I'm always going to piggyback and say thank you to our sponsors. That's a lot of what this event is. It is a virtual event. We're on a virtual stage right now, but it's also a fundraiser. So if you haven't donated yet, please take this opportunity to donate to the Conservation Corps. All of the 100% of the proceeds from this fundraiser goes to our Corps members, their education, and all of the opportunities that are available to them toward education and just really fulfilling a goal for them around this. So yes, please donate. There are 2 different options available to you, and just know that we truly appreciate it for our Corps members and for the organization itself. What's next? What are we doing next, Ryan?
Yeah, so next we're going to go ahead and roll into some core member projects and fellow videos. So we're going to check out some more cool things. So let's go ahead and roll into that.
Sounds good.
My name is Luis. I'm a supervisor at the Conservation Corps of Long Beach. I joined the Corps about 1 year ago. As a crew leader, I started driving and helping out the crew supervisor, learning the skills that we needed, running projects just like Southgate. And eventually, about a year later, I had enough experience to become a crew supervisor. About this project specifically, we go and we collect anything that has been illegally dumped. We pass by and one of these trucks, and we help them remove these items. Today I have 3 Corps members with me. This is Enrique, then this is Christian, and this up here is Mitchell.
I started here about a year ago. Right now, what we're doing is we're planting trees around the city of Long Beach. So these guys are planting a tree right now. But yeah, this is pretty much what most of our projects consist of. We do a lot of native tree planting. We do a lot of like restoration work. I did a project where we're doing some trail repair. There's a bunch of like heavy rainfall that had washed out a bunch of trails. Went in there and covered them all up.
If you guys familiar with Long Beach, I'm on 2nd Street, okay? So basically what we do, you guys, we clean up, it's called the BID, the Business Improvement District. And what we're trying to do is kind of keep it clean. So this is Josh, you guys. So he gonna tell you guys a little bit about what he do here.
Hello, I'm Joshua Mendoza, and what we essentially do every day is we clean out the streets and pick up like big trash and like sweep like the gutters and stuff. And then we have other Corps members taking out the trash and wiping down like the little solar panels and like cleaning around it and stuff. And then we clean out the inside as well. That's about it.
And that's my student too right here, Josh. You know, he'll be finished school, you guys, in October. So he excited about, you know, being with the Corps and everything, and getting his high school diploma and then start his life after that.
I hope with all the experience that I gained here, I can go somewhere else and like grow as a person. So that's what I'm really fortunate about, because I started this job with no experience, and my resume right now is bomb because of all the little certifications I've been gaining throughout the years. So I'm very thankful for the Conservation Corps.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know what to say, you know, just to think, I go to 2nd Street often, and just to think of how the Corps and corps members make the impact in that area, not just that area, across Long Beach and across the gateway cities. It's just, I mean, it's phenomenal. And to think of everything that they do.
Right, right. The city beautification, the tree planting, the habitat restoration, all this work that's so key to, really giving these kids hands-on skills that they need, but also, giving the environment the support that it needs, and, really just keeping the city beautiful and doing work that's, meaningful and important.
Yeah, no, I agree. And here's the opportunity for us to come full circle. So we've talked to corps members and their corps member experience. Then we've also talked to corps members and specific projects and seeing a little bit about education. But now we get to hear from a former corps member who has the full circle. So that 360 degree, I'm just so excited just to share her story with you. So yeah, let's watch it.
Let's get into
it. My name is Cindy Guardado. My story with CCLB starts in 2014 when I started looking for an adult high school to complete my high school diploma. And I couldn't find a high school because all the fees that they were requiring for me to pay, I couldn't pay at that time. One day when I stepped out of my house to take my son to school, I found an advertisement for CCLB. And I decided to call. My first day of school was on November 12th, 2014. And I started working, cleaning 2nd Street and then the Anaheim and Cherry area. And then a few months later, I entered into the ESB internship. And then I was able to work for City Hall. Mrs. Holland told me that I would be able to graduate in June 2015. I was chosen to speak in front of everybody, including my family and son. So it was a proud moment. One of the counselors at CCLB was able to help me get in touch with someone else and another program that got me into LBCC. A high school dropout and a teenage mom never goes into an honors program, but I was able to get into the honors program the 3rd semester at LBCC. So that was a very proud moment for myself, my son and my family. And of course, some of my CCLB mentors like Ms. Chakia. I was also able to finish my education at LBCC with the help of one of the scholarships I received from CCLB, which helped me pay for my laptop that I was using in my science classes. I was able to graduate from LBCC in 2019 with honors. It was pretty exciting. And I was accepted to CSULB. CCLB was able to help me pay for my fees. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity that they were able to give me. Currently, I am a semester away from graduating, but I have already been receiving my 2021 graduation regalia. So this is my stash for my minors in women's gender and sexuality studies. And this is one of the medals that I've received from one of the programs that I am part of at CSULB. And the support that I've been receiving from CCLB, I've also been able to put the work ethic that they have provided me. And currently, I am a full-time employee for Long Beach Forward under the Healthy Long Beach campaign. And I also have been volunteering with my son since 2015. I would like to thank CCLB for their support and all those who support CCLB with these funds, because without these funds, I would not be where I am right now. Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Cindy. I love every part of her story. Being on the honors program? Come on now.
It's just crazy how her story really went full circle. She went to LBCC and then she said, you know what, I can take the next step, and really just kept pushing herself, moving forward and really just setting a great example for her son. It's just amazing to see how those scholarships and how everything can just have such an amazing impact on a young person's life.
It's, you know what, it's just so inspiring. And it's, we can talk about corps member experiences all day long, all night, but I know attendees, y'all want to y'all saw Dan at the beginning of of the program, you'll probably want to hear, we've talked about yesterday with Teresa and Jane. We talked about today just hearing from our various core members. And now we get a little bit of taste of hearing from Dan about today and tomorrow and the future. So we just want to welcome back our Executive Director, Dan Knapp.
Thanks again for joining us tonight. I want to thank Jane and Teresa for giving us a little bit of the down low on how this organization was started and the history. You also were able to meet, and I want to thank some of our alum, Ryan, Nelson, Cindy, shining stars with great future in front of them. And then you got to meet some of our young folks that are with us now, with Eric and Ellie and Bayo and just the whole crew. I mean, it's a phenomenal group of young folks. I know it, and I know that you know it now, and we couldn't be prouder of them. I've been doing this core thing for a while now. It'll be 25 years this summer. I started as a teacher at LA Conservation Corps. My responsibility was to make sure that our young folks understood why they do the work they do. I was an environmental science teacher. That's my background. I'm the enviro guy. And I was really excited about imparting my excitement and my passion about the environment and our responsibility in being good stewards of that environment. But I quickly realized that before our young folks could care about the redwoods on the northern coast, or the dying trees in the Sierra, the rising sea level, right off the shore here, and the changing climate, before they would care about those types of things, they have to first and foremost care about themselves. I had that cathartic moment. 25 years later, I'm still doing what I'm doing, and I couldn't be more proud and more passionate about the work that we do. We're really excited about our future. We're looking at 3 new sites for the Conservation Corps of Long Beach. We break ground on our lower LA River satellite site at DeForest Wetlands Park this summer. We also are opening up our urban lumber program at Willow Springs Park in Long Beach. And then in the coming years, we're working with the City of Southgate and the Trust for Public Land to open a satellite site with the City of Southgate at the Urban Orchard Park, again on the lower LA River. By establishing these 3 new sites, we're going to be able to bring more young folks to our doors, and they're leaving a legacy. They're leaving their imprint for a better Southern California, a better earth. And again, I cannot be more proud. Our biggest challenge at the Conservation Corps of Long Beach is helping our young folks be successful while they're with us. What I mean by that, it's those wraparound services, support services, things like helping them find secure housing, helping them with legal issues, education, transportation. Those are the things that are always the most difficult for us to fundraise for. And really, it's the main reason why we're here tonight. By donating and hitting that button tonight, you become a member of our family, and our core member success, it's your success. You get to share in that success. Please give. At this point, I would like to give it back to Nicole and Ryan to close us out. And once again, thanks for joining us this evening. Thank you all.
Look, I am so curious to know how many core members Dan has infected with that environmental bug.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's real.
Yeah.
I remember my first day I went and I cleaned the streets. It was crazy. It was super dirty. The next day I came, it was the exact same way. Then I said, okay, this is a problem. This is when I knew I was doing something important. So what he's saying is just absolutely true.
Yeah.
And really, it's just so cool to just see the plans of future expansion for Conservation Corps Long Beach and what's to come in the future, and how more young people can have these great experiences. And just to everyone watching, please donate if you haven't already, because it's going to such a great cause and it's going to great things. I promise you.
Ryan, I think we're going to be busy board members. And
for sure.
Which is great, because of course we love it. But I want to take this opportunity just to thank some folks as well. Yes. I want to thank my fellow board members, those who are not sharing this stage with us, but we know you're online, we know you're watching, and we just appreciate you. I also want to thank the CCLB staff. I mean, honestly, just under the direction of Dan, they keep everything going. I mean, if you think the core members' enthusiasm is one thing, you should really see the staff. And I want to thank our event committee who helped with IT, just helping put this event together. And then I have 3 special people to thank. I want to thank Megan, Tara, and David for their contribution to making sure that this event has legs and we're able to do this evening and invite you into this space to learn more about CCLB and why your donations to this fundraiser are so important. What else do we have, Ryan?
Yes. Well, there is one more thing. If you guys haven't donated already, if it hasn't been enough inspiring stories, I did just purchase my home. I've just been living in it now for, I want to say, about 3 weeks. And I really got that started Conservation Corps. And it was that support that I had to continue with those scholarships from all those sponsors and everyone who's been supporting. And just it makes an amazing difference. And just thank you to everyone who's been here tonight, everyone who's watched, everyone who's participated in this, everyone who's donated, and all of our sponsors, and everyone who continues to support or is just beginning to support what Conservation Corps Long Beach is doing. Yeah. Thank you to everyone tonight. I just really appreciate it.
Thank you. It really does mean a lot to all of us. And yes, on behalf of our staff, board, and core members, again, we're just so happy that you spent your Monday evening with us. And so now, here you go.
All right.